Hey guys, and welcome back once more to this fourth part of this tutorial series on how to make a character, in this case a freaking superhero. Since last time I've not done that much. I've just changed the nose a little bit so it has a bit more of a bump in it, so it looks a little bit more better in my opinion. And I changed the eyebrows a little bit so it looks a little bit more angry. And that's it. That's all I changed. So today we're going to start on the neck and torso. As usual, there are multiple methods of making a torso, for example. Of course, you can make a new mesh and start extruding from that point on. You can also make a box and start box modeling. They're all perfectly fine methods. It's just which you prefer. In my case, I prefer starting while using the head, and then from the head on, I just make the neck, and from the neck, I make the torso. This is my preferred method. Again, there is no single best method ever. It's just which the ones you prefer. So I'm gonna use the head to make the actual neck. Before we start modeling the neck, we first need to know how it actually works and what are the defining muscles in the neck that actually make the shape, and which ones will deform heavily. So when we look at the actual neck muscles, there are two dominant muscle groups that really define the shape of it. The first one is this one, the Sternocleidomastoid Muscle, which is an awesome Scrabble word as well. And you got this one in the back here that's called the trapezium, or trapezius. Those two are the defining muscles that shape it, and also the ones that will deform the most. And this one, for example, will have this very defining look. When you, for example, turn your head, you can actually see this muscle pop out. So we're going to focus on this one, the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and on the trapezium. As you can see, this one here, the sternocleidomastoid muscle, awesome word by the way. This one starts behind the ear, right there, and goes all the way down to the front of the chest, and it ends and it attaches itself to the clavicle, which starts around here. The trapezium is actually really big muscle. It actually starts at the back of the head and it goes all the way down to the neck, but also or the shoulders, and also goes all the way down towards the back. It's actually one of the biggest muscles in the body, but we'll get to that one later. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to work on this one, the sternocleidomastoid muscle. I just hate saying that word. So it starts behind the ear and it goes all the way down. When we look at our mesh, we actually have an edge loop there, or an edge that we can use to make that muscle or define it. So I'm going to use this edge here, and I'm going to extrude it. And to make that muscle, so first thing I'm going to do is extrude, drag it all the way down. Then actually I'm going to turn it 90 degrees so it's facing this direction. And then I'm going to move it to the middle, a little bit lower, and I'm gonna make it bigger so it fits this image a little bit better. Done. That's the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Let's work on the trapezium for a little bit. First thing I will do is just define it. Like this is where it's going to be, and this is how big it's going to be. So I'm gonna grab these three edge loops in the back, the three edges here, and I'm gonna extrude them down and to the right, so it end up here. And then I'm gonna shape them a little bit better. So I'm gonna grab this one here a little bit more down, and this one down as well, this one as well. Also check out the back side so it actually shapes correctly, because right now it's just straight. So I'm gonna use this one a little bit left, this one as well, and this one as well, so you get this. Perfect. I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna use this one here. I'm gonna use that to make the actual neck around there. So I'm gonna extrude it down, and I want this one to end behind the muscle here. I want to end it behind it, right there. Then I'm gonna tweak it. I'm gonna grab the vertex here and I'm gonna move it to the left. Oh, left. Something like this. And that's it. Next up, I'm gonna make my life a little bit easier, so I'm gonna start working on the pecs, or the major muscle in the chest. This muscle here, the pectoralis majoris, or major. This one here. Why? Well, it just makes my life a lot easier when we start working on the actual neck, because the neck will produce a lot of edge loops, and when it's here, when the muscle is there already, the faces are there, it's just a lot easier to connect everything to each other, instead of first doing the neck and then the pec muscle. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go on my front view, and I'm going to create a simple extrusion here, and this will become my clavicle. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to extrude it one more time. This one I'm going all the way up here, and I'm going to make it flat, rotate it so it looks like this. It's nice and flat. I'm going to move to the right so it's in the center of the shoulder, a little bit like this. Yeah, this one a little bit lower, and then I'm going to continue it actually, and I'm going to make it go all the way in the back as well. So this one should also be rotated so it's nice and flat-ish, something like this. Then I'm going to extrude it one more time so it's all the way in the back. Yeah, rotate it. And move it here. The reason why I do this is it's a bit easier when you have closed edge loops. It's a lot harder to fuck up. So hence I just create this one quickly, so I know where the edge loop should go and what the overall shape should be, and overall flow should be of that part. Okay, maybe we can add a couple of more edge loops here to actually define the shape of the clavicle. Something like this and this. Because even when a character is buff slash ripped, you can still see them. For example, in this character here, he's ripped, right? You can actually see the abs and the six pack, 8-pack actually, and the muscles are defined, but you can still see here the actual bone protruding, the clavicle. So hence we make it and we actually shape it to the shape we want it to be. Maybe this one a little bit higher, for example, something like this. Then I'm gonna extrude this one as well, so we can actually close the entire loop. So extrude it, and that's it. Okay. Then I'm gonna use this one actually. That's that same edge loop. This one. I'm gonna extrude it again, and I'm gonna place it here, where the pecs start to end. I'm gonna go to my right view, side view, and I'm gonna pull them out, something like here. And I'm gonna do one more extrusion. This one, and I want it to end around here when the muscle starts to end itself. So, and that should be a little bit more inside, something like this. Okay. Then we can start extruding and actually define the shape of the pecs, this major muscle here. But when you look at it, it's a bit odd shape. You can see here it actually goes under the deltoids right here. But we don't want to get that much in detail when you start modeling, because you just want to mimic the flow of the muscles and not actually make the muscles themselves. So just mimic it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an edge loop that goes from here, goes all the way around here, and then follows this point, and then goes in towards the back. So I want to go like this. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this edge here, and I'm going to extrude it as usual. I'm going to put it all the way up. I'm going to put it there. And in my right view, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make it end right there. And the reason why I do this is because you want to keep it simple at first. You don't want to add too much edge loops, because you'll just get lost in the jungle of edges and vertices, and you don't know which one goes where. So it all gets very confusing. So you want to keep it as simple as you possibly can. And then you can actually start seeing it. This face here, right? This should actually become the deltoid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this one a little bit towards the left here, so it can actually start defining the line between the pecs and the deltoids. So this line here, You can see the line forming here, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I want this one, this face, to make that shape. So I'm going to move it a little bit towards the left, actually to the right. I'm going to start adding edge loops. So one here, straight up. This will be this one, and this will be bridge that part, like so. That looks good. And then we can start filling up this hole. So we need 2 more edge loops here, so at least 1 more right there and right there. And we can use these two to start shaping the actual muscle itself, the actual pecs. So I'm going to do something like this. Then in my right view, I'm going to start defining the shape. So this one should be a little bit further out. This one maybe something like here. Also make sure that you check all the angles, because then it's a lot easier to define the shape. This looks pretty okay actually. And then we can start bridging. This one, and this one to this one. And then you can start seeing the shape come together, roughly. Looks pretty good so far. So let's close this part here as well. I'm just going to merge these vertices together. I'm not going to bridge them because right now we only have one big face here. So I also want to have one big face right here on this side. So I'm going to add a couple more edge loops as usual. First this one. Oh, this one. And I'm going to shape it immediately, so I'm going to pull this one out. Like so. This one should also be a little bit more out. Let's check the side view actually. It should be way out. Right there. And I'm going to add 1 more edge loop. Or 2 actually. This one and this one. And then we start merging everything together. So target weld them together. Like that. And like that. And like that. And then start shaping it again. So I'm going to move this up. A little bit higher. This one as well actually. A little bit higher. Like that. And these ones as well. A little bit higher. I'm just going to rotate them. Something like this. Also make sure that you check the back view again one more time to see it actually still looks okay. You can see there's a slight dent in here, a slight angle, so I'm going to fix that. And also check the top view, if you can see it actually, you can. So make sure that it's also nice and round, same here. So it actually looks like a body and not like a square box or a triangle, something like this. Much better. Okay. We're getting somewhere. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add 1 more edge loop here in the middle. This one here. A couple of reasons. So we can define the actual chest a little bit better, and so we can also define the line between the pecs and the deltoids, which is here. So I'm going to grab this vertex here. I'm going to move it all the way there. I'm going to use this one to shape the actual shoulders, something like this. Then in my right view, this one should be all the way up there. There as well, actually, this one as well. Then we start shaping the pecs. This one should be in. Oh. See, it now actually starts looking like someone who has a chest. Much better, much better. Also this view, make sure that everything is nice and curvy. I'm going to lower this one a little bit actually. This one a little bit to the side. So everything looks fine from all angles. There we go. Okay. Let's continue with the shoulder area right here. So I'm going to grab these 2. These 3 actually. And I'm going to extrude them as usual. So I'm going to extrude them outwards till they actually finish that shape of the shoulder. This one here. So something like this. I'm going to merge this one together. So weld this one to that one, and then I'm going to use this one to create the shape of the shoulders, or something like this maybe. This one a little bit more that way. And that way. Back view. And we want to have the same shape as the one here, so I'm going to place them over on top of each other. Actually, it's a little bit easier to do that. Or something like this, roughly. So it has the same shape, same edge loop, edge flow of this this side here. A little bit more out, maybe something like this. They still look really pathetic, but it's just because we don't have that many edge loops. But that will happen, trust me. Okay, so let's focus a bit on the neck itself. We need to close these gaps. A couple of ways we can do that. Of course, we can just fill the hole, but in this case, I don't want to do that because you just get lost again. So I want to be a bit more, well, give it a bit more thought on where I should place all the edge loops. So first thing I'm doing is I'm going to close this gap here. So I'm going to insert edge loop, just one for the moment, and now I'm going to make sure that everything's still the way it should be. So a little bit more tweaking, and then I can bridge these two together. Bridge. There we go. Same goes for this one. So I'm going to place an edge loop right there. Actually, I'm going to rotate this one so it actually follows this line. So you get a very nice and clean topology. Same here, front view. Also make sure that they follow the exact, or follow the rough flow of the mesh. Again, I'm going to bridge these as well. There we go. Then you can also start seeing the jawline appear. It's actually very, very, very present. Maybe too much, but nah, we'll figure it out later on. Okay, so let's do this point here. We can of course bridge this, but I kind of don't want to do that. So what I kind of want to do though is I want to insert a loop right here. Now I can bridge it, but then I can also target weld these together. So I can use this, for example. Which also creates this very nice line that I kind of want to have. Maybe I can move this one a little bit back, a little bit lower. Something like this. Okay. That looks much better. Now I am though going to fill this hole. And now we've got a bunch of edges that all need to be looped, or they need to be ended at some point, right? So we need to figure out a way how to do this. What I'm actually going to do, I'm going to use this one. Move this one a little bit inward actually. I'm going to use these two to create the loops for the Adam's apple. So I'm going to cut it, I'm going to just cut it here and right there. It looks dirty because we have now a giant angle on, but it's fine for now. Same for this one, I'm going to just cut it up here and like that. Now we have the actual, now we have the edge loops there to create the Adam's apple as well. Now we need to think of a way to end the rest, so this one needs to go here. Then we have three more actually, because this is an angle, so we can do something like this, for example. It's fine, but it looks weird because then you get this part there, so I don't want to do that. So we need to figure out a way. Oh, this one should be there. So we can of course just continue this one onward. It's probably the easiest solution, something like this. But then we still have this one here, so we can continue this one all the way up, but that creates an extra edge loop that will end up somewhere on the ear, it seems. So I kind of don't want to do that, so we need to do several different ways. We can use this one and continue it all the way down. So for the extra Adam's apple, and you get this pretty nice neck shape actually. So let's fix these to a little bit more in. See what it looks like now. It's still got a really weird line here, but it's this one, I suppose. It is. Then let's create an Adam's apple really quickly. So move these ones out. Done. Very dirty Adam's apple, but you get the idea, right? Okay, let's move on. Now we need to connect this part, this entire giant part, with each other. So how can we solve this? Well, we can just solve it by adding, you guessed it, edge loops. So first thing I want to do is create one here. for this one here, and one more here. So I'm gonna bridge these ones together, like so. And then we can actually start thinking ahead. Like for example, these can actually be connected to this one. So I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna bridge this one together. We should start seeing a little bit more shape. We do actually. Looking good. And then we can add edge loops here. But we can also just fill this hole for now. Which is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to hit mesh, fill hole, and the same for this one. So everything is now closed except for this part here, but it's fine. So then we can start thinking about, okay, where do they belong? Or where do they end? So I think this one should go there probably. This one should probably go there. Then we need an extra one here for this part here, but it's fine. Because we need it anyway, so. All the way down. There you go. And then we should start shaping again one more time, which we need to do, but we need more edge loops here. So we need one across. So that's why I don't really like this solution here. So we can use this one to go all the way around, so we can actually create a bit more detail in the volume of our neck. Like so, and same for this one actually. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Same way, all the way around. There we go. So now we can actually use these vertices to actually create the volumes that we need for neck. We can use the same one here actually. We can also go all the way around. And we need more edge loops here. A couple of more, otherwise we'll get stuck with the definition of the actual neck. So I'm going to fill this hole as well really quick. I'm going to make this one go all the way around, so I'm going to just continue this one. Which we can also use for the definition of the clavicle, so we can actually make it pop out a little better. And then we have a quad here remaining. Oh, that's lucky. Okay, so let's start shaping a little bit better. This one should be a little bit more buff, something like this maybe. Same here, we can use these ones as well for that effect. Go to the back side. This one should also do that. Now it's just tweaking and tweaking and tweaking till we get to the point where we actually like it. Oh, there's a loose vertex there. The shape itself, I don't like it that much yet, because we need a bit more edge loops here to actually make the final shape. But for now, looks pretty okay. A little bit too much here, I think. I don't like it that much. There we go. This looks weird as well, so I'm gonna fix it. This one is a bit too tight around it, so I'm gonna actually use it to create the dent around the clavicle. You can see it started popping out a little bit better. The shape is still not perfect though, but a little bit lower even. There we go. I'm gonna add one more edge loop around here anyway, so that's fine. Should be a little bit spread out. There you go. Let's go top view and fix it from the top as well. Just needs a little bit more volume there. Same here and here. There we go. I'm not really liking the shape of the clavicle though, so I'm gonna see if I can fix that a little bit better. This looks a little bit better, yeah. A bit too much. There we go. Okay. So far so good. So let's give the chest a little bit more detail so it doesn't look that stupid anymore. So we should just add more and more edge loops. So two, one here and one here, which we can both use to shape the shoulders and also the chest itself. To make it nice and round, nice and fluid. Right view as well. Same here. And here. It looks a lot better. I still don't like the clavicle, so I might just lower it down a little bit more. That looks a bit better. Slightly. Or not. Nah. We'll just tweak it later on. One thing though that we need is an edge loop here. We need it badly. For the extra shape. But if we add it now, I'm just gonna turn on into edge flow. A little bit more to this side. You get more edge loops there, so that's something to keep in mind. It's fine to add more, but you also get more edge loops everywhere. A little bit of the downside. So, but I'm just gonna use it for now. I'm just gonna tweak them. I'm gonna pull them out for a nice volume effect. Here as well, same thing for here. Make sure that they just follow the actual shape of the muscles. There we go, much better. No, wrong one. This one, no. That one. The shoulders look a lot better now though. I still don't like the clavicle, but this part neither. I don't like it that this needs to be a little bit bigger actually. I'm gonna move it this way. That looks a little bit better. This is just tweaking and tweaking and tweaking. Okay. Starting to look pretty damn okay. We do one more loop here in the middle. So let's do just that. I'm gonna add it and see how far it actually comes. All the way around. Nice. Nice. I like that. Let's hit save for a second. Okay. This part here still needs some fixing, but we'll do that later. Let's just keep on trucking and then keep on going. And the clavicles, I really don't like the clavicle. It's actually really annoying me right now. I'm just gonna get in there and fix it a little bit. I just get really annoyed by it. Let's just a little bit something like this. Still don't like it. Slightly better though, but okay. Still not perfect. This is really annoying me right now, so I should definitely fix it. Nah. Fixed-ish. Okay, let's just leave it. Okay, so let's go to front view. See what's next. Well, next part is the abs, the 6-pack or the extra 8-pack, which is a bit tricky. There are a couple of approaches to this. You can of course just make a separate plane and just mold them into this shape, and then use that and then attach them all together. But what I'm gonna do is, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create the rest of the body to this part here. So I'm gonna grab this edge again, I'm gonna pull all the way down to get to the crotch area, which is somewhere around here, I suppose. And then I'm gonna add one more edge loop here, and then I'm gonna create this shape, this V shape right over here, which has a name, which is the Adonis belt. You can actually see it quite often in muscular guys. This part here. It's a very distinct shape. It's actually really important if you want to make some or a character that is buff or ripped or a bodybuilder or whatever. It just helps with the illusion. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger though, to the right, and it should end right there-ish, right around there. I'm gonna move this one actually a little bit more forward to there. Same thing here. Then you can actually start seeing the shape of the character. It's starting to look pretty damn good so far. So then we need to add a little bit more edge loops as usual. So I'm gonna grab these two. I'm gonna lower this one a little bit further, actually a little bit down there, and one more here, and rotate it, shrink it, make it follow that shape, the V shape. Can move it forward. One more. So I'm gonna turn off edge flow. This one a little bit like this. And also forward. One more here in the middle. Same thing. Make sure that it follows the actual shapes. So we get something like this. Okay, let's continue with this one. So let's pull all the way around. I'm gonna extrude it towards the back. It should end here, above the butt, and to this part here. There you go. I just might want to add a couple more edge loops there. For example, this one. There we go. Let's leave it for now. And then you can start seeing the shape slowly but surely. Okay. I'm going to show you the different method right now of modeling with just one plane, or the separate planes, and then attaching everything together. So I'm going to grab an edge here. I'm going to hit extrude twice. So one, oh, then one more time. I'm just going to delete this face here. And I'm going to use this one to actually make the app. So I'm going to grab it and I'm going to place it in the corners where it should be. First as a square. It's a bit easier like that. Also make sure that you're in the right view as well. So this one should end here ish. Something like this, right? Actually a little bit more on the inside, something like this. Then we need to add a bunch more edge loops first across there. I'm going to use this one to actually create the hive, this part here. And front view, yeah, it's really not that perfect actually. They don't align up nice. No. Should be there, there. Then one across horizontally. Ship it there. And check it. I just might want to move this one a little bit to the side actually. Something like this. Move it slightly forward though, because I think it's really weird right now, so I'm going to do something like this. Yep, that is much better. Then I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm gonna do something like this, and then I just move it again. I think you can actually copy them. Which extract maybe. Ooh, let's not do that. Huh. I was kind of hoping you can copy mesh parts here. That's annoying. No. Can't we though? Nope, we can't. Well, that's annoying. Then same thing here, same method again, just grab an edge, extrude it twice. Delete this one. And we start it all over again, so grab these vertices, move them to the left and the right. Should be there, should be there. Right view, make sure everything is aligned properly. Yep, then X one more time, start adding edge loops. And keep on shaping it. Let's check. Roughly the same shape as the ab above it. These should actually be a little bit more on the inside. Let's do it right now actually. This should be like this. Edge loop, same method here. So grab these two and make them go inside a little bit more. So you get this round effect. This one should be a little bit more like this. Like so. Then they actually start looking like abs. Okay. Front view. Shape them a little bit better. There we go. Let's do the upper one. And edge loop. It's a bit of a boring process, as you can see, but that's life. Just feels a bit off, if you ask me. I'm not sure yet why. Maybe because it's the chest though. Let's make it a little bit more buff, so it feels a little bit better. It just doesn't feel that right at the moment. Okay. One more, and that's the giant ab at the bottom. Same method here, delete it. It's actually really big. It's actually a really big muscle, so I'm gonna something like this. Okay, and then again as usual. Same old story. In this case I might actually want to add a couple more, but for now let's just keep it like this. So this one should be a little bit like that. See what it looks like. All in all, let's put this one a little bit back. This one a little bit forward. Something like this. It might look a little bit weird, but that's fine. It's more because nothing is attached to each other yet, so it might look a little bit weird. I'm still not convinced about this upper though, but this upper app I might change it a little bit. When you compare to this one, it actually starts here. It's pretty much the same, but I'm not convinced yet. No. Let's move this one forward actually. Same. Let's use this side view for a second. I mean, as you can see, modeling a character is actually very complex. It's not something you can nail in the first try. It just takes a lot of tweaking. So you're actually satisfied with the final product. This might take a while. But that's fine though at the end of the day, but it might just take a little while and not something that you do in like 5 minutes, like, yeah, I'm done. Luckily though. Otherwise it would be boring. This feels a little bit better though from the side at least. This side as well actually, so okay. Just a little bit of shame that they don't actually match up. It's a little bit lame though, but okay. That's also because the chest is not big enough. The pecs should be a little bit bigger. You as well then. That looks better. Yeah. Okay, so then we can actually start merging things back together again, or bridging things back together again. You just bridge everything. So you can bridge these two, for example. Bridge. Same thing here. Just keep on bridging. Same thing here. And bridge. You can actually start seeing this the 6-pack appear, or 8-pack appear, which is awesome. Then we need to do this one to here as well, so we need to do a couple of things. We need to add more edge loops. So one there, one there. Oh, wrong one. Let's just see how far we can get. Okay. Okay, and then we can bridge this one as well, I think. Bridge this one as well. See what it looks like. That looks pretty good. Not perfect though, but it's fine because this is a bit stretched. So. And bridge these two. Then we should get a first glimpse. It looks pretty okay. Need more edge loops. One more here. So fix it straight away. So a little bit more forward. Same here. And again, start bridging. This line looks a little bit stupid, but we need to fix that, definitely. This one should be a little bit more inward. This one as well. Inside. So you actually get a division, a line in between them. Yeah, looking pretty good. We're getting there, let me put it that way. It's far from perfect, but we're getting there. This one inside, this one as well. And this is the part where I start talking to myself, usually. When I'm not doing a video, I still talk to myself like, yeah, I should do this, I should do that. It will happen to you as well, trust me. Boring process. As you can see. Oh well. Sucks to be me, I suppose. Oh. Once these are bridged, we can actually start defining the shapes a little bit better, because right now they're okay, but nothing perfect. Of the abs then, I mean. Which will take a lot of tweaking. First I should bridge everything together so we can actually isolate selection and then move on and bridge. This looks stupid. Doesn't look bad, but doesn't look great either, so let's start fixing some stuff. A little bit more on the inside. There we go. A little bit more. There we go. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Okay, let's move on. Let's see. I'm tempted to do the rest of the abs as well, but I'm not going to do that for now, because we're going to move on to one very important muscle actually. The one in the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the back, and I'm going to do that by just duplicating these two. Oh, I shouldn't do that. I'm going to duplicate them special. Without the flip, actually, oh, you can do the flip as well, but let's just do one of them first. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to flip this to the. So it actually flipped on the. I think. Whoop, not that one. Minus one. This one. So we can start working on the back as well. It's actually very important. So hence, and if it still change this one, the other one would still change as well, as you can see. So it's a bit of a trick, but a clever one, if I say so myself. First, I'm going to delete history though. It's massive. There you go. Okay, so what we did so far was just the front, but in the back there's a couple of very big muscles that we talked something about it. First, this one here, the trapezium. As you can see, it's a huge muscle. It goes all the way down there. And this one as well. This is the Latissimus Dorsi. This one gives the look that is known as the cobra back. So you get this very broad back, and it goes all the way up to the side as well. It goes to here, this side here. So it's actually very important that this one is there, because this one it really is shape defining. So it's very tempting to keep on going there and keep on going till you get to the edge point, and then you get stuck because you don't know how to add more edge loops, because you get stuck really quickly. So I'm going to do the same trick as we did before. I'm gonna simply grab a face here or an edge. I'm gonna extrude it 2 times. If I can actually move it 2 times. Oh, that's annoying. I don't know why you're doing that, but there you go. Again. And then I'm gonna leave the face here in between. I'm just gonna move it and place it where it should start. This case around here. And then we can actually start extruding this one out to get the shape that we need to. So first I'm going to use the vertices, this one all the way up there, all the way up there. So we get the basic shape there, something like this. And then from the right side we're doing the same thing. It actually starts with the fuck. Oh, it's just crap. That's annoying. Oh well. Right, left. This is annoying. This one should go. Oh, does this even work? Something like this? Yeah, it's not gonna work. No. Here at least, and then here. I'm just doing guesstimates though, but probably something like that. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this one for a second again, because we got the basic shape in there right now. So I'm gonna use this one. So it starts here. Holy crap! What the fuck just happened? There, and this should start end there, and the same here. There, something. Wood. Interesting. This shouldn't happen, but I don't know. It did. Even wider. There. And I tend to just leave it there, just sit there. So we at least know where it should be, and should end up. It just makes it a little bit easier. So we just know, okay, it's going to be here, and we need to keep this one in mind for the parts that we're gonna make later on. Something like this, right? We actually can use this one here, a little bit back, and actually extrude it. And create that very well-known shape of the cobra back. See, you can already see it. It gives this character a very large back, and make him look very powerful. By just adding 4 faces, you just make him look a little more powerful. Okay. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Then you have more muscles to the side. This one's here. These tend to not be very visible most of the time, but they are still there, so that makes them a little bit more annoying to model. So let's see what the easiest approach is. Well, the easiest approach is just to continue on extruding them outward to get to the Latissimus Dorsi. So I'm going to do 1. So I'm going to grab these 2, for example, this one, the big ones, and extrude them up this way, so that they follow the shape, and all the way up here. These ones should go a little bit further out. If I can select it sometime today, would be cool. That doesn't work. If I can find my... Sometimes I just hate Maya. Just does some weird stuff once in a while. This one should be a little bit shaped like this again. So same here. Again in that roundish shape that we just know. This one should be a little bit smaller. This one's well a little bit smaller and a little bit higher. There you go. And then again we can start bridging them as usual, and we need to add one more X loop in between, but first I'm going to bridge them. So bridge. Same here. Oh, these two. This is a little bit dirty though, as you can see, so I'm going to fix it real quick. There we go. Then one giant one down the middle. The middle, that's not the middle. Here is so we can actually add a curvature there as well. Then we can start attaching these two together. Probably a bit too much. I actually kind of like that. Maybe a little bit too much though. Then we need a very strong line here between as well, so you can actually separate the abs from the side abs. I don't know what they're called. Let's fix this one first though, a little bit up there. Yeah, it's a little bit better. So we need to come up with a way to actually add a line here in between, so we can actually divide them. Well, the only real option that we have is add more edge loops, unfortunately. But then we need to think of a way that it doesn't kill the rest of the mesh, but that's something we'll just do next time. First I'm gonna complete this one as well here, so let's bridge these together as well. Oh, not hold them, bridge them. There we go. Not really liking it though, but it just looks a bit weird, especially this part here. And flatten it a little bit. Okay. I think I'll just leave this for now. Otherwise this will last way too long. So next time we're going to finish it, we're going to work on the back, because the back's actually really difficult to model because you have a whole bunch of muscles in there. But it's something we'll just do next time. Okay, so I hope I'll see you guys again next time, and I hope you enjoyed this one, even though it's a bit technical and a bit difficult to do, but I hope I'll see you guys again next time.